That's fine. Your picture should show up right there. Your profile picture.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be good enough.
Oh, that I need to change that. I look like a super gay model.
Hey,
Well, like a
there's nothing wrong with being gay now.
oh yeah, definitely not. But I'm just saying, if that's not my preference, I shouldn't put off that vibe per se.
Well, I mean,
Well, I'm cool with it. Whatever.
if you're just a pretty man, you're a pretty man. Can't be helped, right?
Pretty man with a vest. I mean, a vest, a sweater. What the hell am I talking about? A vest.
We apologize. Well, I apologize profusely because last week we recorded an episode, but I could not extract the audio file. And the file that I could find, I put it on YouTube. um, I was not able to put it on Podbean. And people were texting me and emailing me, asking me, had we put out another podcast? And I didn't really know what to tell them. Because everybody that's close to me knows the issues that we're having with Skype right now, especially when it comes to you and I. So they kind of sympathize with it.
Well, I hate they're disappointed.
Especially when they realize that we put 2 hours into that podcast last week.
More than that.
So it's really a smack in the face to us to go
3.5 hours.
Yeah, 3.5 hours, considering the additional technical difficulties. And then we still didn't get to put it up. That's more of a smack in the face to us. But the past, the future's the future, and now is now. How are you doing today, Cody?
Doing great. Enjoying some great old H2O.
Me too.
Because of other podcast endeavors I have, I drink way too much other little tasty things. So I'm drinking H2O now.
How was your 4th of July?
Amazing. I actually wore a American bandana with a cut-off shirt. I made myself some jorts and wore some flip-flops to be extra white trashy American.
Okay.
On this great holiday. I got real festive for some reason. Don't ask why I decided to do this. It was quite funny seeing me trying to run away from fireworks for a blowtorch. And kids, do not do that. Do not try this at home.
Okay, I'm trying to process that.
In your mind?
Maybe my mind doesn't want to process it. That's the problem. Maybe I shouldn't try to at all.
No, just don't. Just let it go.
Can you hear me all right?
Yes, everything's good.
Okay. Well, my girlfriend came over, and she brought goodies with her.
Like
she
candy?
baked. No, pastries. Well, what do you call baked goods other than baked goods? Well, she brought baked goods. We're still in that new phase. We're learning about each other, so she wanted to show off her culinary skills. So she baked me 2 medium-sized cheesecakes.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and I spent the better part of this morning working all of it off.
Good idea.
Yeah.
I woke up with stains on my shirt.
Oh, do I even want to know?
Like
you need to clarify.
Well, pink stains. I was like, what did I have pink? And it turned out I had watermelon rum, like watermelon soaked in rum, and it got all over my shirt. My brand new shirt.
So needless to say, you had a great 4th of July.
Yes.
Well, this was the 4th of July, the morning after that you woke up with pink stains on your shirt, and not this morning.
Yes, exactly.
Okay,
and
okay.
The morning after, I didn't feel hungover or nothing, so it was actually a very great for 4th of July. I was responsible, had a designated driver, like you should, and yeah. So got to shoot off fireworks, which I love to do, and watched wrestling, which I'll get into in a little bit, and yeah. That was the 4th of July of Cody Woolery.
Yeah, it was. And as usual, Sheba hates 4th of July because of the fireworks.
Oh yeah, I bet little
Yeah.
kids run around with stupid bottle rockets and firecrackers, just blowing them off.
You know, my neighborhood, it borders on a neighborhood. My apartment complex borders on a neighborhood, and there's a giant yellow wall, white wall that separates the apartment complex from the neighborhood. Well, this guy
Yeah,
that lives directly in back of me had a 4th of July cookout that lasted all day and well into the night.
nice.
For them, not for us. Ugh.
Well, I mean, kids are going to shoot fireworks. It's just unfortunately,
Yeah.
Mitt Scrooge over there does not like fireworks.
But ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the latest edition of Beatdowns, Moonsaults, Judo Chops.
Cha.
My name is Alfonso. You should already know that by now. And with us today, as always, the star of the network, the franchise, podcaster of the year candidate,
Cody McGregor.
and the man about town, Cody. You sure you want to go with that last part?
Nah, Cody. Just leave it at Cody. Cody the Great.
Cody the Great.
Cody the Conqueror. No, but how's it going, guys? How's it going, Alfonso?
It's going great.
It's a pleasure to be back after 2 weeks of not here. Well, actually, on the Zen Speaks Network.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's been a long time, guys.
Yeah. You guys missed it where we thought Dean Ambrose was murdered, but he
Yes.
reappeared on SmackDown the following week.
Yes, you missed a lot. There was a lot on that podcast. The
Do we
lost episode.
do we want to rehash just the highlights?
I don't even know.
Uh
There's so much.
yeah.
Oh man, what did we even talk about? I don't remember
We
anymore.
talked about Machida and
Oh,
the
gay Jesus.
Romero, the comments Romero made after his win.
Gay Jesus.
They tried to clean it up at the press conference. He had an
Yes.
interpreter with him.
Either way, he was hating on gays.
He knows what he said.
Yeah. Jesus was not gay Jesus. I mean, that's pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah.
I mean, if that's his views, that's his views. It's freedom of speech. I mean, yeah, do I agree with that? No.
But why
But,
backtrack? That
yeah,
makes
why
it even worse.
That does. That makes you a phony, sir. A phony Cuban.
Is he Cuban? I thought he was Brazilian.
Nope. Roland Romero is actually Cuban, so he
Okay.
speaks Spanish. So actually, even if he did say it in Spanish, everybody, like, not everybody, but a lot of people would know what he said. Because a lot of people in America speak Spanish, so, or at least can, well, yeah, then that's enough. That's all I got to say about that. So if he'd have said it in Spanish, he'd still been in trouble.
Well, from career perspective, what's next for him?
Oh, definitely he's in the top tier of the middleweight division. I don't think he's gonna get backlash over this, really, to be honest, because it's just a view. I mean, yeah, a little controversial, but we know that you can get away with more of the taking a stance as a religious standpoint on certain situations. So that won't. I don't think that's going to be. I mean, they probably talked to him, told him not to say stuff like that anymore or whatever have you. But as far as like actually any repercussions from it, if there were going to be, I think it had already happened, and nothing's happened. So he's going to just move on up, and he's in the top 3 or 4 in the division right now.
Okay, I'm going to say this. Like I said last week, we actually didn't touch on Romero because we spent so much time on Machida, but
Yeah.
I feel like Machida's done at a top tier fighter.
Yes.
as far as he goes, he may want to think about just doing super fights on stat cards or
He's
super.
about at that point. You're right.
Uh, and as far as Romero, yeah, you look good, but you beat a fighter who's no longer at the top of his game. So I don't really know how to gauge this performance for him.
Well, I will say this. Far as the whole gauging of performance and Machida being a shot fighter, Machida is only losing the top guys, though. To be fair, I hadn't seen him lose to a scrub yet. Like none of the guys that he's lost to, especially in this recent run, have been scrubs. I mean, you're talking about Chris Weidman, Luke Rockhold, both are fighting for the title coming up, right?
Yes.
And then he's lost to Yoel Romero. So, and then he lost. No, he beat. The last fight he lost before then was Phil Davis in a close-born fight. It wasn't like he was dominated, and he had wins over Gegard Mousasi and Mark Muniz before that. I mean, after that. So, and he's beaten CB Dalloway in between the Luke Rockhold and Weidman fight. So, in a way, like he can beat the mid-tier fighters, but it's just coming to the creme of the creme. Machida is a step slower, but it's not like Machida is losing to like newcomers or anything like that. And Yoel Romero did beat Tim Kennedy, which is not a slight, not a look over win. Like Tim Kennedy is a serviceable middleweight. So I take it as a great win, especially in the way he won, because it looked like it was going to be a typical Machida fight, and Machida wasn't gassed out or anything. So for him to land that throw like he did, and then just crush him with elbows, is very impressive. Machida's never had the best chin, and when Machida usually loses, he loses badly. And so this is not from anything new to me, far as how Machida fights and how Machida can lose. Because if you go to a decision with Machida, there's a big chance you might lose that fight, right? But if I don't know. It's just I want to see one more fight with Machida before I say he's totally washed up. But I really do believe and second the motion that he needs to start doing super fights and start winding down his career, because he is an older fighter. But so is Yoel Romero. I think Yoel Romero is actually older than Machida, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think he's a little older. I think Yoel Romero's like 39.
Yeah, but he did start like a lot of people need to know that, and he hadn't took the damage that Machida has been knocked out, been in wars like with Weidman.
Now let me ask you this, because some of the guys he fought, when he first started, he fought light heavyweight, which he didn't cut weight at all.
Yes,
but he was fighting guys who walked around. He fought at heavyweight as well.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so he was fighting guys who walked around at about 240, 225 easy.
Yes.
And even now, as a middleweight, he still fights guys that walk around at around 200, 215, but they cut weight.
Yes.
What's the possibility of him dropping weight again and fighting at
welterweight?
Welterweight.
I think that's too much of a drop off. The drop, and it would hurt his style. He wouldn't benefit from it. He's too tall. Really? I mean, his body build doesn't fit to be a 170 pounder. Yeah. I mean, you got to think from 205 to 185, that's 20 pounds. And then you're asking him to drop another 15. So I think it's too much of a drop off. Because, he walks around about 205, but there ain't no 205ers out there that are dropping all the way to welterweight anymore.
Yeah.
The only guy that was really doing that was Diego Alves, and we saw what happened to him, having trouble cutting.
Yeah.
And gassing out. So it would happen to Machida as well. Plus, you can't do the IV thing anymore. That's banned.
What do you think about Benson Henderson? Speaking of switching weight classes.
I think it's good for him. I think Benson Henderson, with the outs he is with the UFC, really after his contract's up, we won't even have to be talking about him anymore unless we talk about Bellator. because he's not a he's a great fighter, but he's not a marketable fighter. They don't make money off of him, so UFC I don't think will have any problems with just letting him go. You know, because they're having issues with him over money and other things, I believe. But
Yeah.
I know money's one of the issues. So but he did good in his welterweight debut, actually. And he's a bigger lightweight, and there's gonna be a lot of guys switching weight classes, I believe, because of the IV ban. Because a lot of guys, especially from like American Top Team and other camps like that, they do have guys that use the IV treatment after they
Yeah.
cut the weight. And with that going away, there's gonna be some guys that just ain't gonna make the weight they were making at the time. So you're gonna see some guys moving up in weight, I believe, more than you have in a long time, like a flush of fighters just moving up in weight. And speaking of new bands, Gilbert Melendez actually was. Did you hear about this? He actually tested positive for elevated amounts of testosterone, and he will be banned for 1 year. So he has been pulled off the coming up UFC card that he was going to be on.
And he lost the fight.
Oh yeah, he lost that fight as well. So yeah, it was a drug test for Mexico City. Another drug test, and a positive note, Jose Aldo did pass his drug test because you know the speculation that he was on steroids and stuff. Even
Yeah.
though he is hurt and will not be a part of the Conor McGregor fight.
Who coincidentally, I read an article on Conor McGregor yesterday, and as of yesterday, he still has 27 pounds to drop in order to
Yes,
make weight for the fight.
exactly.
Uh,
Uh,
that's kind of cutting it dangerously close, isn't it? From
yeah.
172 to 145, I think.
Uh,
Uh,
yeah. I don't know. But the source of information is Chael Sonnen, so a lot of people are saying like you got to take the source of information. I heard the Kenny Florian podcast earlier, and he said that.
what did
So
did you got to consider the source, or he said the same thing Chael Sonnen said?
no, he said you got to consider your source.
Yeah.
So I mean, because there was rumors that Conor McGregor was trying to do stem cell on his knee to see if his knee was jacked up, supposedly. Which I mean, it was hurt. He did hurt his knee a couple years ago, and he was having trouble with the knee problems coming up in some of the other fights he had.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, definitely. That it could be an issue. You know, if you are having a knee problem, then it's gonna be hard for you to cut the weight. How do you feel about Jose Aldo pulling out of the fight?
I mean, I don't blame him. I mean, if you're hurt, you're hurt, especially with a cracked rib. I
Because
mean,
I
you
don't think
can't,
he's faking.
you can't. I mean, if you can't breathe, you can't train because it just a cracked rib. It hurts to breathe. I mean, that's the
Yes.
same injury that Jamie Noble had.
Yeah.
Uh, and even what is it? A week later, he's still visibly hobbled by it.
Well, he had about 6 of them broke.
Yeah. So how many did Aldo
There's conflict in stories if it's broke or bruised.
bruise? Yeah.
But still, you know, it's about legacy because he's put like if a lot of people said, he's putting a lot of money on the table. I'm talking about 3 or 4 million. This would be in Aldo's biggest payday ever if he just
Yeah.
go ahead and fight. So for him to not accept the fight, then there's got to be something going on.
Well, a bruise is just as bad because sometimes it takes just as long for a bruise to heal.
Exactly. I feel like there's no shenanigans going on. A lot of people are saying he's scared of McGregor and stuff. Like, even if I was scared of someone, if it's the biggest payday in my life, I'm going to take it.
Yeah.
So that makes no sense
Yeah.
to me. To me, it doesn't. So the people that are saying that, I disagree. Of course, McGregor's going to say stuff like that because it's McGregor. And McGregor's super confident in himself. But I do got a newfound respect for McGregor because of the interview I heard recently where he wants to fight on the Dublin card because he knows that it's going to help the UFC. He knows he's a money draw there and he should be fighting in his hometown. And you gotta respect the guy that knows the business like that.
Well, he's been hanging out with Dana White, so
Yeah, fair enough.
I mean, you don't think Dana probably mentioned that already, and he's just parroting what Dana said? Which I mean, how do you feel about the president of the UFC being that close to a fighter?
Well, Dana White used to be close to TRTs, and they had their falling out, and he was close to Chuck Liddell
Well, he started out his fight managing career with Chuck Liddell. He was Chuck Liddell's first manager,
and
right?
Tito. Yes,
Yeah. So
yeah. I mean that makes sense, but
yeah.
still, this ain't something new for Dana White.
I mean, how do you feel about that in general? Should he be doing it at all, or should he keep a distance?
He probably should keep a distance because it does look like he plays favoritism because his matchups play favoritism.
Yeah.
But McGregor has no control over that. To be fair to McGregor, like that's all UFC. McGregor's just fighting who's in front of him, and
Well, that's why I said Dana White. I don't.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't fault McGregor.
Yeah, even if the president wanted to hang out with you, why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Make that it's only gonna be beneficial to you. I don't know. It's good and bad, but it could come across really bad if he does show more favoritism towards the fighter because they're buddies. Which sometimes it comes across that way, especially with McGregor, just the way he talks about McGregor and stuff. But he is also a promoter, so he does need to overhype his guys, if that makes sense. But all your guys.
Now, I heard him talk about McGregor on another podcast, and they said he trains insanely hard, and that's where most of his confidence comes from, and the fact that he trains harder than anybody. And someone asked him, they was like, well, the other fighters train just as hard as you. He goes, no, they don't. They say they don't. They don't.
Yeah. He does train really hard, but I'm sure he don't train harder than anybody out there. I think that's a little overstatement.
Well, that's where that's just him being him where he comes in, though, I train harder than anyone,
Well, he always looks in great shape.
Yeah.
So we got to give him that. Like, It's not like he's in bad shape ever. Well, if this 27 pounds thing is true, then he is in bad shape. And how in the world is he going to cut that with all the media stuff he's got to do this week?
Dude, that's like spending 12 hours on a bicycle.
Yeah, but he don't have time.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, you got to drop that kind of weight. That would require you to spend that kind of time on a bicycle in a tracksuit with with one of those plastic suits underneath that. In a heated room.
Yeah, because it's going to be interesting. If it's true, if the rumors are true, it's going to be interesting. I still favor Mendez slightly. I think I would favor Mendez more if Mendez was, not such a short notice fighter. But if this is true, then I might favor Mendez even more.
I think it breaks even. Because you told me Mendez is in shape, right?
Yeah.
Well, there's in shape and then there's fighting shape.
Exactly.
So, how long does it take him to get into fighting shape?
That's the biggest question. That's the question that'll be answered on Saturday. Like, honestly, I mean, I'm not to sound so passe about it or sound so promotional about it, but there's no other way I can put it. Like, I have no idea what's going to happen. I really do think skill set wise, Mendez is a tougher fight than Otto would be. So.
I just hope he has his striking better,
Oh, he hits like a mule. Like, Mendez hits hard, dude. But but McGregor's a way better striker.
And he's got really good takedown defense.
I don't think that's going to be a problem for Mendez. McGregor's never dealt with anyone at any like touch of the caliber of a wrestler that Mendez is so far. So that's what really interests me. How good is that takedown defense, really? Because, it's been really good, but look at who's trying to take him down. To be fair, like, none of them guys are great takedown artists, the guys he fought. None of them. None of them should. The only reason they were trying to go for takedowns is because they were getting murdered on the feet, to be honest. So they were actually desperation takedowns if you really think about it. None of them were like set up anyway. Where if Mendez goes for a takedown, it's not going to be. It might be desperation if he gets caught, but for the most part, it's not a desperation takedown.
Yeah.
So that's the way I feel about that. We did touch on the fighters' uniforms, the misspelled names. Speaking of Gilbert Melendez, how are you doing, Gilbert? Um, and the point that they didn't use like names people know these guys by, like Cub Swanson's Kevin Swanson, and CM Punk is Philip
and
Brooks, and they spelled
and
Philip
they
wrong,
and they made jerseys for guys that are no longer with the company.
like TJ Grant. Makes no sense,
Yeah.
and they're ridiculously priced. We're talking $95. Is it for the kit or just a jersey? I think it's just a jersey. It's $95, right?
Who do they think they are? The NFL?
I don't even pay $95 for NFL jerseys. I don't believe.
I wouldn't, but they have the nerve to charge that for replicas.
Really?
Yeah. Well, if you want if you want the kind of jersey that your favorite team actually wears, you're looking at around $200.
Oh, that jersey's $200. Am I? Wow.
If it's the same jersey that the actual Dallas Cowboys wear on Sunday, yeah, you're probably gonna pay $200 for it. But like these other jerseys you see people walking around in, those are like replicas.
Well, mine's like the actual jersey. It's even got the cut, like where it's tight on your arms, where you can put shoulder pads in them.
Now, yeah, those jerseys are around like $200.
Oh, okay. Well, I have one of them. I got one for Christmas one year.
Okay.
But I didn't know that was how much they were.
Who made it?
Reebok.
Reebok, yep. Yeah. Probably, yeah. Somebody loves you.
Yeah, because I mean it was sewed on, but I wasn't sure if it was a replica or not. But that, like, when you put it on, like the sleeves are really tight.
Yeah.
Where like the replicas, the sleeves are usually loose, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, those are the ones you can get for like $50 or $60.
Yeah, that one's definitely not that.
But my point is, they're still expensive, but
yes.
They're the NFL; they can get away with it.
Well, they're different. A Dallas jersey looks nothing like an Eagles jersey.
Yeah.
Or a Redskins jersey. Or a Titans jersey, for sure. They look very different. Where, like, these UFC fighter jerseys, they look all the same except the names and colors. And the names are wrong. So it's just not a good look for the It was a bad unveiling last week of the fighter uniforms with their dubstep. All the fighters didn't look like they wanted to be there. They misspelled names. They got stats wrong for some of these fighters. So it was not a good look. I was wanting to give it the benefit of the doubt. I thought it was really cool at first. I mean, minus, them taking sponsorships away from fighters. But all right, fighters do get a cut of these jerseys, but who's going to buy them?
Yeah.
And when they write the check, are they going to write their own name down?
I think Dana White's looking long term. Yeah, the rollout was a bit of a disaster.
I think he's disappointed as well. I think he signed his deal, and this is what he got.
But long term, they'll get the jersey situation fixed out, and they'll start individualizing it for each fighter. And I think they'll come down on the price. It'll probably level around $40, $45. And then they'll start selling, and then they'll start seeing product. You're probably looking at something 2 down the line, because you know how many fights come and go during that time. And then what do you do about fighters who are no longer with the company, but their jersey sales are up? Are you still gonna sell those jerseys, or you're gonna change those jerseys if they sign with Bellator or retire? Those are a lot of issues that they're gonna come up with as well.
Yeah. The good news is they don't have to worry about wearing them jerseys anymore.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's very interesting. Very, 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 very interesting. to see what this does and how these fighters really take to this after they wear it, which we'll be seeing this weekend. Again, another plug for this weekend. We will get to see these guys actually wear these things.
Oh, real quick, just want to say happy birthday, Nancy. Today's her birthday.
Oh, happy birthday, Nancy. I hope you enjoy it with your... She's had the baby, right?
No. A couple of weeks.
Couple weeks. Oh, okay. Well, happy birthday and happy early birthday to the baby.
Now back to our originally scheduled program.
Yeah, exactly. What other highlights? That was about it. That was the big stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, we had wrestling to talk about, but we can always mix that in with what wrestling we watched this week.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, since I haven't really talked to you much, Alfonso, what wrestling have you watched? No, we had no MMA this week.
I watched Ring of Honor.
Okay.
And because I'm into inflicting pain on myself, I watched TNA.
See, I missed TNA. I know what happened, but I missed it.
I watched SmackDown and I watched Raw last night.
I didn't watch SmackDown. I watched.
You didn't miss much.
I watched Raw. I watched NXT. I watched Lucha Underground. And I watched New Japan. And I watched the WWE in Japan.
I thought Lucha Underground wrapped up for the season.
No, it's August.
Oh, okay.
I mean, yeah, they've already recorded everything, but it's not.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, they're still going. Ultimate Lucha has not happened yet, folks.
How about Finn Balor beat Kevin Owens for the NXT title? Yay!
I wonder who saw that coming.
Hey, don't be a smart.
Oh, really? Did you watch the match?
No, I'm gonna watch it tonight though. I'm making it a priority to watch it.
It is really worth going out of your way to watch. It was a really well done, great match. But yeah, Finn Balor won it in Tokyo, where he made his name as an international star, and kudos to him. The main event was horrible. It wasn't horrible. It was just really boring.
Who was the main event?
John Cena and Dolph Ziggler versus Kane and Wade Barrett.
An NXT?
Well, it wasn't an NXT show. It was a mixed show.
Oh, okay.
Because you had Brock Lesnar wrestle Kofi Kingston.
Oh.
Brock Lesnar destroyed Kofi Kingston.
Of course.
You also had Chris Jericho versus Adrian Neville. That match was pretty solid. It was pretty good.
Chris Jericho, he's still wrestling?
Well, he did for this card.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he wrestled Neville.
Did he put him over?
No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, Jericho won, but it was still a good match. So you should watch it. Well. I mean, it was still a really good match. I'm over you let him do stuff, but
yeah,
it was a match. It was really good. I was watching this at 5 a.m, just to remind you guys. So it was it was a hard watch. It was a hard watch at the time. So I had to rewatch it.
I would not be watching all the other matches.
Yeah, just watch watch the Finn Balor match and watch the Chris Jericho Neville, which is the first match on the show. Them are the matches you should go out of your way to watch. Besides that, in New Japan news though, they had a show the night after. A lot of great wrestling. You got a new world champion, Okada, which you have watched recently with Ring of Honor. Won the belt from AJ Styles. And Kushida. You remember Kushida, right?
You have to jog my memory.
Who did he wrestle on Ring of Honor? He was on a couple of the TV shows. He wore the jacket, like the jacket from Back to the Future.
Oh, he's like really flamboyant, long hair.
No, 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 no. That's Naito or Tanahashi. He has short hair, but he wore. I think he wrestled Roderick Strong on one of the shows.
Blonde guy.
No, 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 no. Dark hair. A small guy. Maybe they didn't. Yeah, I'm pretty positive he had a match on the tapings because I.
Uh,
But anyways, he won the junior heavyweight title by beating Kenny Omega in an awesome match. Sakuraba's still limping around over there and had a good, solid, strong style match with Shibata. And the Bullet Club, Doc Gallows and Carl Anderson did beat the Kingdom for the tag team titles, which I know you know who them guys are, right?
yeah.
Yeah, Kingdom from Ring of Honor, and you've seen Carl Anderson and Doc Gallows, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were ringside when AJ Styles and the Young Bucks fought in that 3-man tag team.
Oh, yeah, that is right. They were there. Because, yeah, he has the thing for Carl Anderson does. Oh, and the Young Bucks, they won as well. They defended their belts. They get Red Dragon and what are them other guys called? They're not called a Hooligan anymore, but Rocky Rowe and Trent Beretta.
Yeah.
And a 3-way for the junior tag titles, which was a really entertaining but typical of these guys. You know, it was like their normal style match. That's why I didn't really catch out at. Oh, and Toki Makabe defeated. Oh man. I forgot the guy's name. Oh crap! I know this guy's name too. I cannot believe I forgot the dude's name. But anyways, they destroyed each other in a brutal match. It's called a pit bull. I cannot think of the guy's name. Ishii. Oh, Ishii. Yeah. Ishii versus Toki Makabe, and Toki Makabe beat him in a brutal match. Like hard hitting match. So. That is the report from Japan. So, do you want to move on to the Wednesday night, or do you want to touch on? Yeah, let's do Wednesday night.
Okay.
You want to start with Ring of Honor?
Sure. Lead the way. I didn't take notes.
Oh, well, basically on Ring of Honor, it was basically all matches because these TV tapings were done before the pay-per-view that happened weeks ago. So they're just going to feed you matches basically. Until they can, reveal who won what or, all that kind of stuff. So the Ditchin wrestled, as aforementioned, Okada and Gato. Really good match, but of course they put the Ditchin over since the Ditchin are the tag team champions.
Yeah.
What'd you think of the match?
I didn't too much. I'm not a fan of the Addiction.
Yeah, they're a little older. The gimmick's not that great.
Yeah, they're just. I mean, they're definitely indie. They don't translate. They wouldn't translate to the, I guess, gigs. I would say.
What do you mean, like ye?
Yeah.
Because they came from it, actually.
Yeah.
Came back.
I mean, it was just. To me, it was a match.
Yeah. Which we had just another okay match with Watanabe versus Adam Page. Not much to say about this. I mean, it was okay.
Yeah.
I mean, wasn't the best match in the world, but still decent. I mean, still good. It was not too long, but then we had Adam Page versus AJ Styles. Now this match was off the chain.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, they put it out there. I mean, what do you expect from AJ Styles and Adam Cole though?
Now, was this his first fight back from the injury?
No, I think they had the sixth man was.
Okay.
You remember he was a part of the sixth man against the Bullet Club.
Oh, that's right.
No, actually, how did they do it? Because see, all these were recorded in one weekend. I cannot remember. This might have been the first match, but they just showed it later. Because he did do it like an impromptu, like, I'm going to wrestle that night. And then the other stuff was kind of set up,
Yeah.
I'm not sure, but this match was awesome. It was his first singles match that I've seen since he's been back. And Man, it shows.
I don't know how AJ Styles is gonna last. If he goes like that every night.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Um, that style, especially how hard these two guys wrestle. Well, that's why Adam Cole was out because he hurt himself wrestling like this. AJ Styles don't do as many. AJ Styles does. He will take it easy a little bit for the indie shows he does. But yeah, when he goes all out for the New Japan shows and the Ring of Honor shows. Adam Cole wrestles on PWG as well, which they do a lot of high spots, which could contribute to his injuries.
Yeah.
I can't remember if he got hurt. Well, he had a shoulder problem. And he wrestled one more time after the fact for PWG before he took the surgery and took the time off. But it's good to see him back. They need to boost and talent.
Yeah.
I mean, like top talent because he is a top tier guy there. He's the former champion. So it was good to see him back. And if you hadn't watched Ring of Honor yet, if you really want to watch a good match, I'd say search out this Adam Cole AJ Styles match. You ain't gonna get no better match just on regular TV, I don't believe. Would you agree with that?
I agree. I wholeheartedly agree.
Yes. So that was a Ring of Honor in a nutshell. There was not much substance as far as vignettes or nothing. It was just straight matches, which I enjoyed. It's refreshing from what we're used to watching.
Yeah.
Well, on Lucha, for some reason my notes disappeared for Lucha. It was not that great of a show, to be honest. It was just match after match. I didn't really take a lot of notes on it. I mean, you had like Alberto El Patron or Alberto Del Rio for the WWE fans. Destroy Marty the Moth Martinez, which is just a nothing match, just to build up, Alberto. But we'll just touch on the main event. Basically, Chavo Guerrero made another deal with Cuarto, basically saying, he gets to have the crew. It's a no disqualification, and he's challenging Puma for the belt. And if Conan interferes, Puma automatically loses the belt. So they had a match. Basically, you know what's going to happen here. The crew and Chavo Guerrero triple team Puma. But here comes Tejano. And Tejano runs out. Maybe spark a new feud because he's been feuding with Davari. If you have been watching Lucha Underground. So this might spark something else as he helps Puma beat Chavo Guerrero. And at the end of the show, you see Blue Demon back again. I don't know how he survives all these attacks by Chavo Guerrero. But he's back again. And basically, I think it's going to culminate to some big kind of match at the Ultimate Lucha between Blue Demon Jr. or just Blue Demon, as they call him on the Lucha Underground, against Chavo Guerrero Jr. or Chavo Guerrero. Because they're both juniors. But they only go by their surnames on the show. So, that's pretty much Lucha in a nutshell. We'll just go right through that since it's been a week. What happened a week before that? Was that the 60-man? Was that the Iron Man match? Or no? No, it wasn't.
For who?
That was 2 weeks ago, right? For Lucha Underground.
I didn't watch. Yeah, that was 2 weeks ago. Yeah.
Okay. Never mind. I can't remember what happened last week.
Yeah, because
Mel Martez destroyed Drago and got the number one contendership from him. That's right.
Because Johnny Mundo was ahead by 2 pins, and he did the heel move. He started running, and then was it Alberto Del Rio? He came out and he helped Prince Puma.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, and then last week, Mil Muertes stole the number one contendership from Drago, basically. So, there you go. Well, NXT. You did not watch NXT, right? Did not miss nothing. Basically, you had the Vaudevillains back versus Dash and Dawson Dawson. Vaudevillains, of course, win. No, basically this has turned into NXT superstars lately. Without Sami Zayn being there and some of the other people that are hurt right now. Tommy, for example. So, and then you have Baron Corbin, not Barry. Baron Corbin versus Tucker Knight. Squash match, I put. Baron Corbin wins, of course. Backstage, Vaudevillains and Team Swaff argue about who should be the number one contender, which is a setup for this coming week as they will fight for the number one contendership of the tag team titles against Blake and Murphy. The final Finn Balor look as he comes into the WWE promo, which was a promo setting up for the Japan show, of course. Eva Marie showing her training to get a chance to wrestle. Pretty interesting. If you like watching fitness girls try to look like they know how to wrestle. Emma versus Carmella. Emma wins, obviously. I put Bull Dempsey still playing the fat gimmick by trying to get food out of the vending machine and beating up the vending machine. Ty Dillinger versus Tyler Breeze. Tyler Breeze obviously wins, another squash match. Rhino and Kevin Owens was the main event versus Finn Balor and Samoa Joe. Good match, but they of course put over Finn Balor with the win. All right, so I want to touch on NXT for a minute, and they're not doing much with Samoa Joe. Why do you think that is? Like, he's the second guy. The little tease with Kevin Owens got with Samoa Joe as far as any consequence or any intrigue as a character.
They're probably trying to tweak his gimmick. And, like I said earlier, get him in better shape.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I can think of that's holding. Once they put him on the main roster, the main roster right now is stacked. I mean, we were talking last week about Cesaro, by the way, who put on another great match.
Oh yeah. We'll definitely get to that.
Yeah. So I mean, what are you gonna do with Samoa Joe? I mean, the roster's already stacked. That you got guys like Cesaro that are buried on the roster.
Yeah, but then you got guys that shouldn't even be on the roster, like Big Show.
Yeah, Big Show, Sheamus.
Sheamus sucks.
The Miz.
Sucks.
Mark Henry.
Mark Henry sucks.
Those guys shouldn't even be on the main roster.
Yeah, they should switch places with Samoa Joe and Finn Balor and Sami Zayn.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I mean, they have their places because they're big guys, but still, they get bigger pushes than Sheamus is all right. It's just his character sucks.
Bring him out for house shows.
Bring him out for Japan, not Chris Jericho.
Yeah. I'm sick of seeing Roman Reigns versus Sheamus, or Randy Orton versus Sheamus, or Big Show versus Mark Henry versus Rhino.
Or Ryback versus Big Show.
Or Ryback versus Big Show, yeah.
Everyone wrestling at a pay-per-view, but you're going to have them wrestle each other on free TV a bunch of times?
And I'm just sick of seeing The Miz, period.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't even send those guys down to NXT. I would just be like, look, man, you guys are going to have limited dates. We'll pay out the rest of your contract, but, basically, go ahead.
I was just going to say, limited dates might make them interesting.
Yeah.
Like, might make you want to watch them, like, see them. Like, when Big Show first come back after he'd been gone a while, I was kind of interested in seeing him, but he went back to nothing, really.
Yeah.
So, at that aspect, it's just like, whatever, really. So, you watch SmackDown. Do you want to do a review on SmackDown, or do you just want to touch on something? Like, just want to give a little overview on it.
We'll do a review for our WWE fans who say we don't talk enough WWE.
Well, there's not much MMA in this show.
Yeah.
Well, early on, I guess they were, but that was just rehashing.
We start off SmackDown with, guess what? Rollins doing another promo in the ring. Is it me, or are they doing every show like this now?
It's really always been their It's their what is it? Their go-to, like their prototype. Every if you've noticed for at least the last couple years, every Raw and SmackDown start off with a segment of talking, like a big long promo segment. Guys come out, guys run their mouths. Every Raw starts that way.
But
I
lately
can't remember a Raw not starting this way.
but lately it just seems to be all Rollins.
Well, he's the main heel, so yeah, the
Okay.
authority. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so he comes out with J&J, and he's basically bragging about Monday night, the whole gimmick where he gives them the Cadillac and the iWatches, how he destroyed Brock Lesnar and burnt Suplex City, and how they laid out Roman Reigns and murdered Dean Ambrose. And then, right on cue, this is when, Dean Ambrose comes back. He's risen from the dead. He comes into the ring with the kendo stick and clears the ring. And immediately, Seth Rollins, which I didn't know he was a GM too, he makes a match with Bray Wyatt. And that match starts right now. Right then and there. So we go to a commercial break. We come back and Dean Ambrose is... Dean Ambrose is fighting with Bray Wyatt. It was a back and forth. Both of them got a chance to do their stuff, but Bray Wyatt gets him into Sister Abigail. Yeah, he beats him clean. So we move on to Adam Rose versus R-Truth.
Oh, Adam Rose was on TV?
Yeah, him and Rosa Mendez.
Yeah.
R-Truth wins that match pretty easy. I don't think it lasted 2 minutes.
That makes sense.
We recap Raw's Cena Kevin Owens segment. Nothing special. They show a clip of Ryback's interview on WWE.com, and he vows to put Mark Henry in a shell shock on SmackDown.
Yeah.
And then Mark Henry gives an angry rebuttal promo right before the match. Then we cut to a segment with Rollins and J&J plotting backstage, playing with their Apple watches.
Them watches suck.
Yeah. He has a match with Roman Reigns, but up until this point, nobody's seen Roman Reigns. So we surmise that he's injured from Monday night, and apparently they don't think he's going to show up. So the next match we have Brie Bella versus Naomi, along with Nikki and Alicia Fox ringside now. So I guess they're like the female version of the Authority.
Yeah, three. Yeah.
Yeah, with Nikki being the champ and Brie and Alicia being J&J security.
Pretty much.
But this was a nothing match. Brie wins, of course, thanks to the help of Nikki and Alicia. Another Bray Wyatt promo, which I fast forwarded through. Oh, and this is a candidate for worst match of the night. The Ascension versus the Primetime Players.
Oh man,
I have in my notes terrible match.
Oh, I can imagine.
This was worse than the Divas match that preceded it. Primetime Players get the win. If you're gonna put the Primetime Players in a match with somebody, you have to put them in there with somebody who can actually pull moves off. You basically have to put them in there with really good wrestlers to have a decent match. You can't put them in there with another crappy tag team. I can't believe they put this match on television. Uh, the next segment, Rusev comes to the ring with Summer Rae, who I have to agree with Conan. She does look like a witch.
Man, she is so ugly. She's gotten uglier.
Yeah, I don't. I guess it's just. I guess she's skinny and blonde. I guess that's all that matters. And as long as you don't point the camera directly at her. Oh. You know.
She legitimately looks like a witch.
She does.
After Monday, I was like, holy crap, he's right.
Oh. Yeah. She's hideous. Basically, they're talking more trash. Summer Rae apologizing for smacking Lana and calling her gold digger to her face. Says that Lana's lost is her game. I write yuck. Thank God that segment was as short as it was, because I was worried for a moment that Dolph and Lana would come out, but I wouldn't have to worry about that until Monday night. Still no sign of Roman Reigns, with a match against Seth Rollins looming. Rollins comes back to the ring, waiting for the match to start. Still no sign of Roman Reigns. I mean, he seems confident that Roman Reigns isn't gonna show up. I mean, he's just standing in the ring waiting with that grin on his face. Then all of a sudden, you hear Roman Reigns' music, and then they pan into the crowd, and he's coming down, and he's visibly hobbled. He's walking with a limp, and he's holding his back. And so the match starts, and every time Roman Reigns pulls off a move, he's grabbing his back.
Of course.
Yeah. So Seth Rollins, being the heel that he is, he's targeting Roman Reigns' back. And it actually turns out to be a good match. Seth Rollins shows some power. He tries to get Roman Reigns up to another powerbomb, but Roman counters, and he's about to line up the Superman punch when J&J intervene. I mean, they just jump in the ring and attack Roman Reigns, called an instant disqualification. And it looks like they're going to do to him what they did to him Monday night, until Dean Ambrose comes in there with the kendo stick and just starts whisking away at everybody. But it's funny because they make no real attempt to get their hands on Jamie Noble at any point. Clearly, he's still hurt. But they have no qualms about beating the crap out of Joey Mercury. So Seth Rollins and Noble, they evacuate. Mercury gets caught, thrown back in the ring, and they beat the crap out of him. He gets Superman punched. Ambrose beats him with the kendo stick till it breaks. And then he gets speared. While Rollins and Noble watch helplessly from the crowd. And the show ends with Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose standing in the ring over a beaten and battered Joey Mercury. That is his name, right? Joey, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Joey Mercury and Jamie Noble.
Because I've been calling him Freddie Mercury.
Yeah, that was pretty hilarious.
And that ends SmackDown. All in all, I'm gonna give it a C-, with probably the match of the night, and it wasn't really a match. Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins. No. Dean Ambrose and Bray Wyatt.
All right.
So,
well, that was very interesting. And that is your SmackDown talk. So, we're going to move ahead straight into another WWE topic. Raw. Raw is war. Oh, fuck. Oh, oops. Oh, sorry. This ain't the Attitude Era. It's the PG era. This is just Raw. We're live, pal.
Hulk Hogan, I'm coming for you.
That was pretty hilarious. If I had half the brain you had. That's another good one.
You turned.
Oh no, he said I
on
only. Yeah. Oh, Sid Vicious is like, I only have half the brain you have.
Can we redo that?
We're live, pal.
Oh man, classic.
So what are you gonna do, Scott Farmer? Yep. You put the boots on me, and you turn the tables on me, and I'm gonna turn them on you.
Oh man.
Man, you should watch $5 Wrestling to enjoy some horribleness like that. There's this guy named Lil Donnie. He's so funny.
Is that still a thing?
$5 Wrestling?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's still around. They have Little Donnie, Big Donnie, Freight Train.
Okay, I don't know if I asked you this or not, but why is it called $5 Wrestling?
It's so bad it's not worth more than $5.
Where is it at, pray tell?
Most of the shows are Virginia, North Carolina.
And people actually pay $5 to go see this.
And buy DVDs and stuff. Colt Cabana. I don't know if you're familiar with Colt Cabana. He's an indie wrestler, comedian type guy. He wrestled with Scotty Goldman in WWE for like one shot. He wrestled in Ring of Honor and stuff. He's real good friends with CM Punk. Where the CM Punk interview happened, it was on a Colt show, The Art of Wrestling. He does a podcast. He was original wrestling podcaster actually, as a wrestler that did podcasts. Like he did it before Austin, MLW, all that stuff. But anyways, yeah, he does the commentary for it and stuff with another guy. And it's horrendously bad wrestling. And Freight Train might be actually slow. I do not know this for a fact. But it could be possibly that he has some mental disabilities.
Okay, well, I don't want to promote this wrestling company any more than it needs to be promoted then.
Yeah. High Spots has a thing to do with it. High Spots Wrestling. They do all the gear and stuff. Anyways, back to Raw. I just don't want to talk about Raw.
It was bad. It was pretty bad.
It had its good and bad. Let's be fair.
It had match of the year moment on there, but yeah.
But that's way later. That's after all this other stuff. But basically, we start with Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman come out to shoot an interview. Paul Heyman basically gets biblical, talking about like basically the 11th commandment: thou shalt not
provoke the beast.
Provoke the beast. Brock Lesnar. Furthermore, they basically talked about how what Brock Lesnar conquered. The only thing they booed was the Undertaker, but he was like, Brockner did not respect him, but he did not disrespect. And he said this about like a bunch of guys like Roman Reigns, John Cena, Undertaker. That was about it. And he's like, he will disrespect Seth Rollins and destroy Seth Rollins, basically. And he did the biblical terms. It was really just a promo, just to build up, the match. Paul Heyman basically does the same promo he does as a heel, but instead of turning and like saying the things he says insulting to the fans, he does it to the heel wrestler. But I thought it was pretty good. What'd you think?
Well, here's my thing. When is Battleground?
2 weeks from now.
Neither of these guys should be on TV until then, because we're seeing way too much of Seth Rollins as it is.
Yeah.
He shouldn't have been on Raw last night. He shouldn't be on SmackDown. He shouldn't be on starting last night. He shouldn't be on anything until Battleground.
You don't think so?
No,
Like cutting promos at least?
no. If you can show vignettes of him training, because this is, I got this idea from another podcast, and I'm like, they're exactly right. They should have vignettes of him training, because this is going to be the match of his life.
Yeah.
They should show him, training, strategizing with Triple H, and Kane and Jamie Noble. Meanwhile, you show Brock Lesnar training too. But you don't show those guys every week, because he's a champion anyway. He's supposed to be the main event.
Yeah, fair enough.
And it gives other guys the time to shine. You may even be able to make room for Samoa Joe and those other guys on the roster if you take those two off TV for a while.
I agree with this, like that your your champion should be on TV all the time and stuff. But when I said that before, I was talking about Brock Lesnar, and everybody wanted to argue with me about it. Like that, well, a lot of people say that Brock Lesnar, it's not right. Fans and stuff are like, it's not right that Brock Lesnar ain't on TV. He should be on TV every week. He's going to be a champion and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, no. That's how Hogan and them made so much money, was Hogan wasn't on TV every week.
Yeah.
It was a special attraction for Hogan to be on TV. And that's really why Brock Lesnar's so over in the first place. He's not on TV every week. And the more they expose him, like you said, the more it could hurt the match.
Yeah.
So I do agree with that. But I guess we can move ahead. Okay. They show Kane on vacation in Hawaii, but it was funny. It had a fake picture of him playing the ukulele, standing by volcanoes. That was just the first one. They had some more, but it actually had me laughing a little bit. Oh, and they also showed the J&J road trip. Now, what did you think about the road trip? What'd you think of what they did to that car?
I hate it. I hated it. I hated it.
You hated it?
Yes.
I thought it was funny.
But you can spend that kind of money on a car, but you couldn't send Kane on a real vacation to Hawaii.
That's true. Now, you couldn't do vignettes of Kane really on vacation.
Yeah.
I will agree with you there. That's kind of messed up.
Especially considering what they did to the car later on.
Yes, we will get to that.
Yeah.
Well, first match after all that, the first match happens. Big Show versus Ryback with The Miz on the mic doing guest commentary. Basically, Miz is distracting these guys by talking into the actual mic to why these guys try to wrestle. There was one cool spot I liked when Big Show was chopping Ryback. And Miz is like, do y'all want to see it again? Talking to the fans, and they cheered. So he did it again, which was kind of cool. But basically, this became a nothing match as the Big Show jumped off the top rope onto Ryback. And the Miz attacks. But then they recover. They won't let Miz out of the ring. So they both do their finishers on the Miz. And then Ryback clotheslines Big Show with really just crappy clothesline. And that is your build. Well, they're still building, but that's a part of your build to the triple threat match at Battleground. Are you excited? I'm not.
No. The best thing about that match was seeing the Miz get shell-shocked and chokeslam.
Yes. Fair enough. The Ryback looks like he's digressing again.
Yeah, maybe he's shriveling under the spotlight.
Maybe we gave him way too much praise.
Or maybe the Big Show's just an awful opponent to match him up against.
Yeah, well,
he's not. The Big Show's not the best worker either.
Yeah, but man, Ryback looks atrocious at times. Like, ever since wrestling Big Show. Like, just how his timing's so off. And it ain't the Big Show's fault because we've seen guys wrestle the Big Show. And their timing be just fine. So
maybe they're just bad matchups for each other.
That could be. I mean, that's fair enough. Not everybody meshes well. Not everybody has chemistry, but it shows me that guys have to carry Ryback.
Yeah.
So, just like they have to carry Big Show a lot of times, but they have to carry Ryback as well. So next we have Paige versus Brie Bella. Yawns again.
No,
Uh,
no. Anger.
Anger. Okay.
Rage.
Evidently, Alfonso has rage about this, so let's let him rant a little.
um, I'm convinced that the Bella twins are sleeping with some of the writers, and
No, they're
Paige
just like
and Paige won't. That's why she's being treated the way she's being treated.
no. The Bells are doing even one better. They're sleeping with the top stars of the company, John Cena and Daniel Bryan.
Because clearly the Bellas, along with Alicia Fox, are the female version of the Authority. And Paige is the Brock. I call her Brock Cena because she's a mixture of both. But instead of getting any measure of revenge, she just gets beat.
I think she's Dolph Ziggler.
Yeah, they turned her into Dolph Ziggler. Now she squeaked out a win against Alicia Fox last week. But when it comes to
She should be squeaking out wins against Alicia Fox.
well, it was Alicia Fox versus the Bellas too.
Yeah,
They were ringside.
still, that's just ridiculous.
But yeah, but when it comes to the Bellas, they clearly have the upper hand against her, and it seems like the only other than embarrassing her, they have nothing invested or plans for the storyline. I guess Nikki's gonna be the longest reigning Divas champion ever, and Paige is just gonna continue to be their whipping girl.
I think they're going to do that so they don't have to mention that AJ Lee was the longest running champion ever.
Okay, well, they need somebody else to do it off of because I'm tired of seeing Paige, get treated like a jobber every week.
Fair enough, but she's not doing herself any favors, though. Be honest, she's not doing nothing that's that great. She's a great wrestler, but as far as her actual charisma, it's kind of sometimes. It's really showing now, but maybe she's just not motivated with what they're giving her.
Would you be?
No. Fair enough. I wouldn't be either. Well, next we go to one of your yawn matches. Roman Reigns versus Sheamus.
No, this was actually a pretty good matchup, I thought. This time around. Yeah, it was actually a good match.
Pretty long match. Good, decent match. Bray plays my games with Roman Reigns by sending someone he thought was him out as Roman Reigns beats on him, and then it goes dark again, and then the referee had been counting Roman Reigns out, I guess, evidently the whole time, and counts out Roman Reigns, and that's it with that. But then you think it's over, but here comes Randy Orton running out to the ring. His music plays, of course, and he attacks and puts out Sheamus to build up for their match at Battleground. Yay. I cannot wait to see Randy Orton versus Sheamus again on Battleground.
You're being sarcastic, sir.
A little bit.
They wasted a really good match with a predictable ending.
Yeah.
I mean, this whole Bray Wyatt Roman Reigns thing is getting old too. I mean, if you're gonna keep doing that, I would just keep both of them off the air until Battleground, and just have them do promos, or have them one up in each other in promos. Like Bray Wyatt's doing all of this to Roman Reigns. We have a promo, Roman Reigns turning the tables. Like going to like in a movie, like say True Detective style, you have Roman Reigns going to the childhood home of Bray Wyatt.
Yeah.
And talking to his relatives. And getting all this dirt on Bray Wyatt. Like his favorite teddy bear growing up, or Bray Wyatt used to play with dolls and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Or getting his old yearbook pictures and he's just like this big weirdo.
Yeah, he likes My Little Pony.
Yeah.
He's a brony.
I would, and then you show Bray Wyatt becoming a little unhinged for the first time.
Yeah, you see him dressed up like a brony.
Yeah,
That'd be awesome.
I mean that's what I would do. That's the direction I would go in.
I don't know if I'd go with the bronies per se, but yeah, maybe I'd jump the gun a little bit. But yeah, definitely, definitely it's getting old. But also Triple H gets talks to Seth Rollins in the back and gets Seth Rollins psyched and basically tells Seth Rollins to call out Lesnar. Would you say?
Yeah,
Which he says he's going to do. He's going to be unconventional. He's going to prove everybody wrong.
I like the mentor student relationship that Hunter and Rollins have now. He's like a young Triple H in the making. He's even adapted the pedigree as a finish move. I wish they would kind of play more off of that.
Yeah.
Like they were in the beginning. Because it kind of seems like they're still a little peeved at him for his indiscretions earlier, a few weeks ago. And I kind of want to see Triple H take him more under his wing again. And see Rollins become more of a cerebral assassin like Triple H was when he was the Game.
Yeah. Fair enough. And I like when Triple H is like that. So hopefully we'll see that. Um, do you think Triple H and Seth Rollins will eventually have a match against each other?
Ooh. Why not? They've put everybody else in matches together. A lot of that'll depend on what happens at Battleground.
Or SummerSlam? You
Yeah.
think?
But I see Seth Rollins holding on to the title until the next WrestleMania.
Really? That
Yeah,
long?
because otherwise, you broke up one of the most dominant stables of all time to
I
put
don't
the
think
belt on him, and you wouldn't do that just to give him a 5 month title reign. I don't think.
I don't think he'll hold it that long. I think he'll lose it. I don't think he'll lose that Battleground, but I do think he's going to lose it to SummerSlam.
To Brock.
Probably.
Hmm.
Like he'll find some way to sneak his way out of losing it at Battleground, and then he'll actually lose it at SummerSlam. And then I think Brock will hold it all the way until WrestleMania and lose to Roman Reigns.
Okay. So if he loses at SummerSlam, I think you'll see that rift between him and Triple H, and that'll probably lead into a match
Yeah,
going into WrestleMania, probably.
yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. All right, so Rusev and Summer Rae do a promo, and he basically talks about how Lana's a snake. He's sorry that Lana's a snake. He's sorry that these fans give her a chance. And just basically dogging Lana out, of course. And then eventually Dolph and Lana come out. Dolph says you sung your song. What was the song he was singing? Oh man, I know this song too. You don't know what you got till you're gone by Cinderella. Basically, he's like you were singing a bad interpretation of that song, and basically I know what you got, and it's gone with me or something like that. And then they make out a little bit. Basically, Rusev gets tired, just hits him with a crutch, beats the crap out of him with the crutch. They keep this beating them. This beating went a little too long, I would think. Like
Yeah.
you made your point. Like it's like hitting someone with 15 chair shots, where if you just hit someone with one the right way, it makes its point.
And we learned what too many chair shots can do to a wrestler.
Yes. So I think like putting it under his throat or his chin or whatever and doing the little slam thing was a little
Oh,
unnecessary because
yeah.
it's like overkill. Like you got your point across with the crutch beating it over him. So why even waste your time doing all that? It just dragged a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm not really interested in seeing these guys wrestle or anything else.
Okay, so Summer Rae kicked Lana out of the way when she tried to protect Dolph. Are we gonna see a match between Summer Rae and Lana?
They might see a mixed tag.
God, I hope not.
Now I think that's where they're going. Oh, that's so
Okay,
bad. Yeah,
that was a terrible segment.
that's dragging us down. Something else to drag us up down with. Bo Dallas, as he comes out, makes a promo, basically dissing Dolph Ziggler, saying bad things happen to bad people, and he is a good person, so good things will happen for Bo Dallas.
All you gotta
Well,
do is believe.
believe. Well, I don't believe when I see Dean Ambrose coming to kick your ass.
Yeah.
And Dean Ambrose ended up doing that within 3 minutes as he beat up Bo Dallas and won the match.
Yeah, because I didn't. Yeah, because I would be very disappointed if it took Dean Ambrose 15 minutes to put Bo Dallas away.
They've already, Dean Ambrose has already lost steam.
Well, they don't know what to do with him now. I mean, Rollins has moved on to Brock Lesnar. Roman Reigns is with Bray Wyatt. I mean, what are you gonna do with Dean Ambrose? Are you gonna put him in the Intercontinental Championship mix or the U.S. title mix? I mean,
No.
yeah. So they don't know what to do with him.
I mean, that ain't going to help him none. That ain't going to do
That's
nothing for him.
that's the problem with having too many a stacked roster like WWE.
Or just not pushing the right guys right.
Yeah,
Or just not having good ideas.
I mean, because he's super over. So
It could have a lot with him just not having good ideas. So, we'll see what happens. King What's Up or R Truth comes out dressed like a fool to wrestle King Barrett, and they wrestle. They give this match a lot of time, and after the match, Brian, no, not Brian, I think it was Michael Cole. One of it might. Well, I think it was Michael Cole said, or I think you think this is the end of the feud.
I hope so.
Yeah, it was not that great of a match. King Barrett wins, of course, and I'm just not looking forward to it. I like seeing R Truth on TV, but it wasn't great.
Now he can go. He's a really good wrestler. If they just take the jokey gimmick out of it and just let him wrestle, he'd be a lot better off, I think.
100 times better off. Yes, let's all write a petition to bring our truth to the forefront. Because when he had his heel gimmick against John Cena, that was really good a few years back,
Yeah.
and they just buried him after that match. He became the Miz's sidekick or something.
Ugh.
So
They should bury the Miz in Death Valley.
They should definitely. Well, moving forward, Seth Rollins and J&J Security come out with axe handles in their hand
Ugh.
to call out Brock Lesnar, which segues to Brock Lesnar coming out and Paul Heyman bringing a toolbox, which he grabs two axes and destroys the Cadillac.
I knew that was gonna happen.
Me too.
I knew that was gonna happen when the show first started, and they brought the Cadillac out. Okay.
A real dangerous spot happened where he ripped the door through the door of Brock Lesnar, that is, through the door to Cadillac, out of the way,
Yeah.
miscued it. A piece of thank gosh it was just a piece of the interior, hit a fan in the face as it flew across the stage area. Then he proceeds to beat up J&J Security and chases Seth Rollins out of the ring and out of the arena.
That's why he only has limited dates, folks.
Yeah, 2 weeks, he hits the fan, and he broke a guy's ribs.
Now, did he separate his shoulder, or was that just a work too?
I think that
Jamie
was a
over.
work. I think that
Okay.
was a work.
Okay.
I hope that was a work. As far as I know, that was a work. There was no conflicting stories to that after the show was over.
Okay.
So now we have. What'd you think of that segment? That segment was pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it was a long setup, but the payoff was good.
Definitely.
I mean, like I said, you spend that much money on a card just to do that to it, but you couldn't send Kane on a real vacation to Hawaii.
It's shenanigans, I tell you, shenanigans. Moving ahead, Lucha Underground. Holy crap! Lucha Dragons versus the New Day, meaning Kofi Kingston and Big E. Of course, the New Day wins. By the way, primetime players were doing commentary. Titus O'Neil was trying to put himself over, it seemed like. No one could really get a word in edgewise. How did you feel about this?
The match as a whole?
Or the whole thing?
I want to highlight a point where one of the Lucha Dragons dove out the ring and flipped and landed on his back because he missed. Because what's his name? Pulled Kofi Kingston out the way.
Yeah,
that was a dangerous spot.
Yeah, that was a Sin Cara.
Sin Cara, yeah, he landed straight on his back. I mean,
that was pretty bad.
It was planned, but that was still dangerous. I mean, you'd be crazy to do that on purpose.
Yeah, I don't know if he was supposed to miss like he missed, but it was pretty bad.
And I'm just like, okay, I don't. But as a whole, the match itself was good. I don't know. I don't know how I feel. I think the primetime players suck.
So I take it you want the New Day to get their belts back.
Yeah. I think they make better heel champions than primetime players do as face champions.
Fair enough.
I do too. I just wish you could see that match against the Ascension on SmackDown.
I can only imagine.
Yeah.
Well, we moved to this crap, till good crap, as Cena cuts a promo, highlighting Kevin Owens losing to Finn Balor. And then Owens cuts a promo and says that since he's lost that belt, he needs his belt, so we're going to do this now. So we think we're getting Kevin Owens versus John Cena, right? Wrong. Cesaro comes out, interrupts, and says, I had the guy that says never give up, almost giving up, but you screwed me, basically. I think he actually said you screwed me, if I'm not mistaken. Or you cost me the match. I can't remember what exactly word from word what he said there. But basically, and Kevin Owens like, all right. So he gives, they let Cesaro have the match. And they have a better match than last week, which I thought I would not say, but I honestly have to say that.
Match of the year.
You already think it's match of the year?
Well, it's in contention.
WWE match of the year or match of the year?
Well, I'd have to say WWE match of the year because I don't really watch enough wrestling to just say total match of the year.
It should be in consideration. So, definitely consideration. You got to see some hot spot. We'll just touch the hot spots because there was just so many great spots in this match. Basically, Cesaro hit a spinning uppercut, which was really pretty. The one negative of this match, I will say, was John Cena doing a stunner, the springboard stunner he always tries to do, which is really, really bad. I do not want to see that happen anymore. Um, and furthermore, uh, it was just a great match. Cena got the win, of course. Kevin Owens come out at the end and attack or try to, and Cena's put him in the AA.
Yeah.
But Cena gave a lot to Cesaro, so it shows he sees a lot in Cesaro. And what I think should happen is I think Kevin Owens should beat John Cena for the belt, but then I think you should go straight into a program with Cesaro versus Kevin Owens.
And put
How do you feel
Cesaro.
about that?
I think that's great. And I think you put the belt on Cesaro.
Eventually. I don't think you do it the first match. I think you do a trilogy like you do with this guy because you don't want like Kevin Owens losing the belt as soon as he gets it. That kind of hurts his stock a little bit, don't you think?
I don't care.
Yeah, he just wants Cesaro to get his stock back.
I don't care about Kevin Owens.
Well, fair enough. Well, that was Monday Night Raw. How did you feel about them ending with John Cena versus Cesaro instead of ending with the Lesnar segment?
Because it was such a great match, I don't have a problem with it. I think that's the way it should end.
I think it was. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I thought it was refreshing.
Yeah, it was. And that's part of what made it so great too.
And we'll see how the numbers do. The reason they did this was they had the lowest number last week. The last week's show had the lowest non-holiday number since 1997 as far as ratings. So evidently we're doing a show for no reason, guys. Because y'all not watching it. You're not watching Raw. Or are we doing this show as a service announcement so people do not watch Raw?
Well,
because they don't have to, because we do it for them.
Well, the people that aren't watching, I can't really think of a reason for them to watch.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, so
like
we
certain spots maybe, but not a whole show, not a whole 3-hour show for sure.
No, and I think we are doing a service. We're doing a public service. And because we tell them if they're not watching Raw, they can watch all this other great wrestling, like New Japan and Ring of Honor and NXT.
Oh, well, I think
Lucha Underground.
Yeah, we're doing a service there, but we wasted our time talking about Raw.
Well, we're gonna have to find a lot more MMA to fill up the time slot there
next week. Oh, well, since we're done with our reviews, let's touch on next week here. 4 MMA cards within a week.
Uh-oh.
You have Invicta with Cyborg fighting on Thursday night. You have the UFC 189. You had the Ultimate Fighter finale on Sunday. And on Wednesday, you have another Fight Night card. Frank Mir versus Todd Duffy. So actually, we could almost do a whole show on just MMA next week with this insanity of MMA.
We may have to.
Then we got all the wrestling to watch too.
Oh man, I forgot. Oh, do you want to talk about what happened on Tough last week?
Oh, that's just a worse show.
Do you think that ending was a work? Because if the Black Zillions won.
Oh, you're talking about the Ultimate Fighter.
Yeah.
They're just talking about Tough and I was like, yes, Tough Enough sucks. Now that I don't know, because that was the best fight I saw. I just like to see that Glenn Robinson showed his true colors, because if anything, the Black Zillion guy was doing all the fouls.
Yeah.
So for him to complain like he did, and like I do agree with Dana White. Like if anybody should have been complaining, should have been American Top Team, really. But he was visibly hurt. The American Top Team fighter.
That guy's not gonna have a career in fighting much longer. He keeps taking that kind of punishment.
Fair enough, but he was blocking. It wasn't like he was taking unnecessary. It wasn't like he was knocked out.
Because they had to help him up after he won the fight.
Yes, fair enough, but he was trying though, and a lot of it came from the back of the head shots though.
Yeah.
So
I mean, but that's a dumb rule. If somebody's got you down and you're exposed like that, you expect in the heat of battle, you expect them not to target the back of your head. I mean, just because you're in that position, that shouldn't be a foul to be hit there, because that means you've lost control of the fight. I don't like that rule. That's a stupid rule.
yeah, I guess. The way he was swinging his arms though, it wasn't like he was trying not to hit him in the back of the head. He was like deliberately trying to hit him in the.
I mean, because where else was he gonna hit him at? And that guy knew,
side.
oh, he can't hit me in the back of the head.
He's just going for a takedown though, during that part, and that's when he was beating on him, which I agree. I agree with you, Alfonso, on that a little bit. But the grabbing the fence and the nut shot,
yeah,
that he definitely landed.
Yeah.
So, in that aspect, it was some fouls going. But I don't know. We'll see the last episode this week. We'll see what happens, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're going to do for the finale. I don't know if the finale is just fights or if it's they actually have a finale fight. I don't remember the concept there.
It'll be over with soon, mercifully enough.
Yeah. Thank gosh.
Now,
It went kind of quick. Really, if you think about it. It wasn't that long of a show compared to other seasons.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens. So are you going to watch any of these fight cards coming up?
Probably not. I'll try.
Okay.
I'll definitely. I'll watch. I'll tell you what. I'll watch the fights worth watching after they happen, before the podcast. That way, it'll be fresh in my mind when it comes to review time. Like, I may watch them Monday.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, that's fair enough. You better watch them.
Because you don't want to review every fight anyway, because it's not worth reviewing.
Well, wait.
You know what I'm talking about.
The 189 fight is pretty stats. But yeah, there's so many fights we will have to probably not review every fight.
Now is it on every channel? Like, is it going to be on Fight Pass and Fight Night? Are they having a?
Yes. Fight Pass, Fight Night is the Sunday card, and pay-per-view is the Saturday card,
Okay,
and prelims are Fight Night card.
Okay, so I'll watch whatever's on Fight Night, and then Fight Pass I'll watch later in the week, like a Monday or Tuesday.
Yeah. Well,
whatever's on Daily Motion.
Well, there you go, and we don't have a big WWE show till 2 weeks from now, so.
And that is Battleground.
Yes. So, a lot of MMA coming up, a lot of pro wrestling coming up. We suggest you buckle in, because we'll be talking about it. Feel the burn.
Are you gonna be watching Tough Enough?
Yes, I will watch it tonight. Or in the morning. Or you can watch Total Divas. Starts tonight.
You know what? I might do that, and I might do a one-man podcast solely based on Total Divas.
Yeah, right.
Because there's no podcast out there like that, so.
You touch on Total Divas, I'll talk about Tough Enough. How about that?
Deal. Deal.
If we could even do a podcast on it. The two worst shows in television.
And Total Divas might be doing better than Raw.
I really might think that with the drama that's going on, that's very possible.
So yeah,
So yeah, there we go, guys. You want to call it? We'll put a bow on this for this week.
let's do that, sir.
Let's go ahead and do it. Thank you, technical difficulties, for making us have to cut our podcast a little short. We appreciate it, Skype. You dick.
Yeah, I'm kind of hating you right now, Skype.
But what else we got going on the Zen Speaks Network?
Um, we're gonna be doing a podcast Saturday. I don't know what we're gonna call it. It's not gonna be Podcasters Unite.
Oh, it's changed.
Because Nancy won't be joining us. Charles will have a special guest. The guy that owns a vapor shop down in
That's this week? I thought it was next week.
It's supposed to be this Saturday.
I thought it changed.
Oh, has it? Okay. He hadn't talked to me yet.
Maybe it hasn't. I don't know.
Honestly, I don't know what we have coming up. The network's going through some changes right now.
Yes. Ooh. So it's my phone. Thought it was on mute.
But we will keep you posted as new information comes, folks. So that happens when you grow.
Yeah.
You go through changes.
And some stuff don't work out. We have test runs on here.
Yeah.
To do a little side talk, I will still be doing other podcasts called Pizza Got Beer, but just not on on its own feed now, and its own thing. It's not a part of the Zen Speaks Network, but we appreciated y'all letting us do our test run on here. Thank you, guys.
You're welcome.
Really greatly appreciated.
All right. So you can reach us at Zen. That's XEN hyphen comics.com. Facebook.com/ZenSpeaks. I am Shane O'Mac 35 on Twitter. And Cody?
I'm at Cody Zen Speaks on Twitter.
So we will see you guys next week with plenty of MMA stuff to talk about.
Yes, a plenty. A plenty. So if you don't like the MMA cast, close your ears.
Bye, guys.
All right, bye, guys.